Welcome back to another RCP tutorial. Today we are going to create this fantasy wheel tie. We start by pressing Shift-A to add a cylinder with 7 sides. S-set to scale it down and Tab to enter edit mode. Select the top face and press E plus S and then E to extrude upward. Select these edges and Ctrl V to bevel them. Shade Smooth, enable Auto Smooth, and we have our base. Now for the base of the well, Shift-A to add a cube and sidebar to isolate. Go to the Y-axis view and use S-set and S-X to create a brick shape. Add a bevel modifier and apply it. Now tap to edit mode, and here we are going to select all the edges and Shift-D to duplicate. We are going to create a row of bricks using S-X to make them in different sizes. Once you have around 7, use Ctrl-R to add some loops in the middle of each brick. This will help when we bend them. Then Shift-D to duplicate this row again and then add a simple deform modifier. And bend it around the set axis 360 degrees. Apply the modifier and Shift-D plus Z to duplicate and move up. Do it again, and now go to the top view. Select the top row and R plus Z to rotate. Do the same for the second row and then adjust position and size with SX and SY. Once you have these 3 rows ready, select them and Shift-D plus Z to duplicate and move up again. Then position and make any size adjustments you would like. Now we are going to model a platform for the well. Start by adding a cylinder with 9 sides, then use S-set to scale it down. Go to top view and center it around the well, then use S to make it bigger. Go to the side view, select both the platform and the well, and with G-set move them up. Then position the platform on the bottom of the well. Select the platform and add a bevel modifier. Apply it, shade the smooth and enable Auto Smooth. Adjust the size of the platform until you are happy. Now, select the platform and press sidebar to isolate it. Shift-A to add some cubes and scale them down. Then position them around the top of the platform, making sure they intersect. Once they are in position, select the platform and add as many Boolean modifiers in difference mode as cubes you have positioned onto the platform. Select the cubes and press H to hide them and see how the gaps would look like. Apply all the modifiers and then select the cubes and press X to delete them. Finally, add another subdivision modifier to the platform to make it look better and sidebar to exit isolation mode. Now we are going to make the top part of the well. Shift-A to add a cube. Use S to make a bar shape, then tap to edit mode and Ctrl-R to add these loops. Select these faces and extrude along normal. Then select the edges of the extruded parts and Ctrl V to bevel them. Now select this face and extrude it out and then press G plus Z to move it up. Do the same on the other side until you have kind of a Y shape. Select the top face and G-set to move it further up. Select these edges and Ctrl V to bevel them. shade the smooth and enable auto smooth. Now Shift D plus Y to duplicate and move on the Y axis. Shift A to add a cube. S to make it smaller, and GX to move it to the outer part of the model. S plus X to make it thinner and tap to edit mode. Select this face and E to extrude it towards the other side. Then Ctrl R to add some loops, and with proportional editing active, select this vertex and press G Set to give it some curvature. Add a bevel modifier and apply it. Go to the front view, Shift D to duplicate and X to move it to the other side of the bars. Shift A to add a plane, center it and tap to edit mode. Ctrl R to add a loop in the middle. Go to the side view, select the middle edge and G Set to move upwards. Then select the plane object and G Set to move it over the base of the roof. Go to the front view and make adjustments on the position. Select this face and X delete it. Make adjustments on position if necessary and then extrude the faces upwards. Select the vertices on the top part of the roof and G Set to move them down. Now Shift A to add a cylinder, S to make it smaller. Go to the side view, enable X-ray and select half of it. X delete the vertices, disable X-ray, press 3 for faces and A to select all, then extrude along normals. Select the top vertices and S to scale them in. Select the bottom ones and S to scale them out. Add a subdivision modifier and Ctrl R to add some loops. Apply the modifier, press R plus Z to rotate, and then go to the side view and RY to incline it. Then use G plus Z to move it downward. GX and GY to position it correctly over the roof, RX and RY to adjust the incline. S to make it smaller, and G again to position it. Ctrl A to apply all transforms and then add an array modifier on the Y-axis. Make as many as needed to cover the roof. Now Shift D to duplicate and G Set to move it down. And RX to adjust the inclination. Repeat this until the roof has been covered. Select the plane and the roof tiles and Ctrl J to join them. Go to the side view and Shift D to duplicate it. Press R set 180 degrees to rotate and then GX to position it. Make any adjustments needed. Go to the top view, now Shift A to add a cube, SX to make it thinner and GY to position it across the roof. Then SY to scale it and cover all of it. Then go to the side view and S set to make it shorter. G set to position it intersecting with the roof, tap to edit mode and Ctrl R to add some loops here. Select the loop and press S to give them bar some shape. Then add a bevel modifier and make some size and position adjustment. Then box select all the elements of the top part of the well and position it over the base. Make any adjustments in size or position that you would like. Now for the central piece of the well, Shift-A to add a cube and sidebar to isolate it. Use S to make it a bar shape and go to front view. Add a subdivision modifier and then tap to edit mode. Ctrl R to add some loops and keep the bar shape. Shade the smooth and apply the modifier. Now Shift-A to add a circle. Press RX90 and go to side view. Now scale it down until it is around the bar. Select the circle and go to Geometry, Depth and increase it. Shade the smooth and right-click to convert to mesh. Then add a subdivision modifier to make it look smoother. Now Shift-D plus Y to duplicate and move to the side a couple times. Now select one of the extremes and tap to edit mode. 3 for faces. Press C to select these faces and then E to extrude them down. Enable X-ray, press Q for edges and select all these edges and Ctrl V to bevel them. Then tap to Object Mode and Sidebar to exit Isolation View. Now position the bar in the middle above the well. For the buckets, Shift-A to add a cylinder with 21 sides, sidebar to isolate and tap to edit mode. Go to front view and Ctrl R to add some loops and S to scale them up and make a rough bucket shape. Select the top face and X delete it. Add a solidify modifier. Offset to 0 and increase the thickness until we have a rim around the bucket. Then add a subdivision modifier and apply both. Go to front view and with Alt pressed, select 2 rows of faces. Then extrude along normals, select the top edges and Ctrl V to bevel them. Go to front view and Shift-A to add a Bezier curve. G set to move up and RY90 to rotate and RX90 to rotate again. Tap to edit mode and with G move the vertices until it is positioned how you would like. Then go to Geometry, Depth and increase it. Shade the smooth, right-click Convert to Mesh and then add a subdivision modifier so it looks better. Then Ctrl J to join both objects, sidebar to exit isolation view and position it. I'm also making a duplicate and positioning it. For the rocks, Shift-A to add a cube, sidebar to isolate and add a subdivision modifier. Apply it. Tap to edit mode, vertices, and select and move the vertices trying to achieve a rough shape. Here on the top, I'm using Shift-Ctrl-V to bevel the vertex once. When you are happy with the shape, add a bevel modifier and shade smooth. Then exit isolation view by pressing the sidebar and position the rough. Make duplicates using Shift-D and position them around until you are happy. Now we are gonna model the grass. Shift-A to add a plane. Sidebar and go to top view. SX and tap to edit mode. Then Ctrl-R to add some loops. With proportional editing, select the top vertices and scale in to make the rough shape. Go to the side view, faces, and press A to select all and E to extrude up. Add a subdivision modifier and Ctrl-R to add a horizontal and vertical loop. Select the top edge and G-set to move downwards. Shade smooth and RX90 to rotate. Apply the modifier, enable X-ray, and with proportional editing, select some vertices in the middle and use GY to curve it. Now go to side view, Shift-D to duplicate, and R-set 180 to rotate it to the other side. Scale it down and position them together. Ctrl-J to join them and tap to edit mode. Faces, A to select all and use the shrink fatten tool to make them more plushy. Exit isolation mode by pressing sidebar and position it. Duplicate it with Shift-D and scatter them around the base. Now we only have to add the materials and lights, And here it is, our fantasy well. I hope you've liked the tutorial and that you find it useful. If there is anything you would like me to try to model, please leave a comment and I'll try my hand at it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye!